I just saw this, a little note for a Yarb sale. Now, who ever heard of a Yarb sale? I've heard of a yard sale, but who ever heard of a Yarb sale? I don't even know what a Yarb is. That's New York. I've heard of a Marge, and I've heard of a Bart, but I've never heard of a Yarb. It's Homer finding the Yarb sale sign in Bushwick, New York. Nah. Look, a lot of people can't believe that this is real, but if you're a New Yorker, you should just come to St. Nicholas and Hart Street in Bushwick and take a look. Day 4 of this sign, this ridiculous sign, and I honestly, today, I'm just wondering, how does something like this even happen? I mean, did a child write it? And then I just have to imagine their parents looking at it and just going, yeah. And if an adult wrote it, I mean, you have to believe that they have dyslexia or or schizophrenia. Houston, I was supposed to be in Bushwick today, but I must have landed on some kind of alien planet because I've heard of a Mars, and I've heard of an orb, but I've never heard of a Yarb. So come pick me up. Long day at work today, but had to come to my favorite place on Earth, which just gives me so much joy. Can't believe it's still up. Can't believe no one took this sign down. Someone's got to take it down because it's so crazy. I personally won't take it down because I think it's too funny. The word Yarb just makes me laugh. There is one character who may have heard of a Yarb. I've heard of Homestar, and I've heard of a Yarb. But I've never heard of a Yarb. Oh, but I have heard of a Yarb. I've heard of a Yarb. It's Coach Z from HomestarRunner.com visiting Bushwick. This is serious. This is seriously curious. This is certainly curiously serious. A sign for some kind of sale, but it happened many months ago. That's awfully funny that something would happen months ago and the sign wouldn't go away. I'm just kidding, folks. This fucking sign says Yarb Sale. That's the gag is. Okay, so I've heard of things that are sharp. And I've heard of a shark tooth, and I've heard of a shard of glass, but I've never heard of a Yarb, and I've also heard of Shark Tale, the movie, and I've heard of a shark's tail, but never a Yarb sale. Look, I get it. It can't be funny every day, you know. I didn't think that this was gonna still be making me laugh for this long. It has. But, you know, things don't last forever. This sign's almost completely off. The rain has busted up this one piece of tape. One flimsy little piece is all that keeps this Yarb sale still functioning as a sign in Bushwick, you know? Everything ends. See you guys tomorrow.
We do.
Hey, check this out. Well, check this out.
What is it?
Yarb sale sign.
Which? Oh yeah! Wow. So they meant to say yard sale, but I think they probably switched the B around. Is that what happened? Is that what happened?
Have you not seen the videos that I've been making about this?
No, I've been kind of off the grid. What is this?
No, yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that they meant to say yard sale.
But they just maybe accidentally switched the B to make a D.
Yeah, let's see what else. Let's see what else we can do.
Yeah, New York's cool, man.
I've heard of other things that are sharp, like a dart and a barb but I've never heard of a yarb. Oh, this is strange right here. See, I've heard of a yarb, but a yerb. Never heard of a yerb. Lois, I've heard of barf and I've heard of fart, but I've never heard of yarb. Fart, barf, and yarb, Lois. But we're in Bushwick now, instead of Quahog. John Wilson, get your ass to Bushwick because there are plenty of strange signs going on. This sign looks like it's advertising nothing at all. I didn't notice it for the last couple videos, but clear as day, someone has removed the top tape layer, right? And it's not as if it just fell down. Someone placed it right here. They placed it here as if to send me a signal. I swear to God, I didn't do this. Someone out there is not happy to have me share this content. I'm trying to make the world a more exuberant, silly place, and you're nasty. You're nasty and you spread negativity. You're hastening the end of this era. Hey, look at this, Mom and Dad.
I was wondering where it was.
What was that?
Here it is.
Yeah, you've seen the videos.
Yes. It's famous.
It is famous. In Bushwick, people are migrating here. Some people, though, have taken the tape off. Did you guys see that? That someone...
They put it off to the side.
Yeah.
Stalking you.
Yeah. There it is. Yesterday, I found this this piece of paper on the ground, maybe 2 blocks away from the Yarb Sale sign. And it looked like it maybe could be a missing piece. So let's test it out. I'm inclined to believe it would be right here. Looks like a different sort of species of painter's tape. Yeah, folks, this is not actually a missing piece from the year. This is just this is a piece of trash, probably from a different sign, a normal sign. Bit disappointed this has survived today's rain. I thought surely that this would be over, but here we are. What would people say if I washed away in the rain? What would that eulogy be? Oh, he was so smart and talented. A life wasted at the Yarb Sale sign. Good. I'm not so depressed, folks. I actually remembered that I like this sign today. I like the way that it makes me feel. And I love my friends and family. In fact, I was thinking today that it might be nice to do a little bit of a challenge. Can you name the fictional language that features a yarb-like word to mean testicles? Let me know in the quote tweets. I've never heard of this. Have you ever heard of this?
No. I mean, that's stupid, man.
How does this even happen?
Well, someone had to be smoking some kind of ganja or something.
Someone must have been stoned. They forgot the difference
Exactly.
between a yarb and a yard.
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is the kind of thing that is like only in New
And it
York.
looks like you left an email address.
It's true, folks. Queen Elizabeth was visited by the grim specter of death yesterday, and you may be wondering, how could that happen? I thought that there are entities that are designed to prevent that from happening, like the Queen's Guard and Scotland Yard. Well, you know how these royal guards, they're not supposed to laugh at anything funny, but they actually heard about a Yarb sale, and so they were doubled over in hysterics, meaning that the Grim Reaper was able to slip right into the Queen's royal chambers. And the Scotland Yard is something I've heard of, but I've never heard of a Scotland Yarb. Anyway, they were also laughing, which allowed her to be executed by death. Yarb Sale. Yarb Sale. Yarb Sale sign. And I think that this will be an excellent way to show off the difference between a yard sale and a yarb sale. For example, do you know what happened with Flight 93? Well, essentially, one of the terrorists was he misspoke and said Allahu Akbar, and then his co-pilot laughed so hard that they crashed. So thank God that happened, so that the U.S. Capitol stood standing on this day, New York, 9/11. I don't even know what to say, folks. A barber shop. Oh, I'm just glad it's not a yarber sale. Ugh, this new yard sale sign couldn't hack it even through 2 days of rain. It's already about to fall off. I mean, there really is just one piece of tape holding that up, but the good old Yarb Sale sign still up, still quite taut, quite sticky on the whatever this is, phone electrical grid, a green box. They must have been some magic in that old Yarb Sale I've found.
Oh, what's this? Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I think I have something to say about this. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
I've heard of a RARB, and I've heard of a RARB, but I've never heard of a RARB.
Yeah,
He's
but
saying he's heard-
right, but the
he's
last
saying-
thing he
he's
should
saying he's
right,
heard
but
of-
the
no,
last
he's
thing
saying he's heard of a barb and
right.
a carb.
Okay, and maybe like
But
a
never
larb
a
too, because I
yarb.
think you said it 3 times, or
No,
no?
I said it 2 times.
Okay,
He's
well the
heard of
last
a-
one he should say, I've never heard of a yarb.
Well, he wouldn't say that. His letters begin with his words.
Right, but
with
he
R.
already said RARB twice. So
Oh, what's this? Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I think I have something to say about this. Okay, are you ready?
yeah.
I've heard of a RARB, and I've heard of a RARB, but I've never heard of a RARB.
Yeah, but the last thing he should right, but the last thing
saying he's heard of a barb and
Right.
a carb.
Okay, and maybe like
But
a larb
never a
too, because I
yarb.
think you said it 3 times, or
No,
no?
I said it 2 times.
Okay,
He's
well the
heard of
last one he should say, I've never heard of a yarb.
Well, he wouldn't say that. His letters begin with his words.
Right, but
with
he
R.
already said RARB twice. So, yeah.
Then he does that at the end.
All right, so this is in Bushwick, and I'm gonna add this to Google Maps. We know that whoever made this sign took an L, right? But this Yarb Sale sign, they actually took a pretty big L also, because last time I checked, you don't capitalize letters in the middle of words. Plus, Yarb. What kind of person writes that? It just says Yarb. I mean, the word sale is vaguely hidden behind whatever this is. I have no idea what this is. I wish I could just peel it off, but I don't want to damage the remaining content underneath. And here we've got I mean, clearly we had to rip off this part of the Yarb Sale sign to add whatever this is, some kind of time intelligence agency ATM here. Time machine. I wish I had a time machine so I could go back to when the Yarb Sale sign was fully intact. Wait a minute. Okay, I think a yarb is like a Scottish a Scottish way to say herb, also known as a herb in England. Anyway, an example of a yarb might be thyme, but I haven't heard of thyme spelled this way. And I also haven't heard of time, as in the passage of time, spelled this way. Ha ha ha. You really need the context to appreciate Yarb. Yarb isn't necessarily funny without Sale.